Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager 2018, and this is the career mode, the full team management mode. And it's week 50 of the Gaming Decathlon competition. We're still pretty early here in our first season. We haven't had this series going on for that long yet. But we're going to open up the Tour of Provost. 5-stage race, a short one, and sprint stage first, and second, and third, fourth, and fifth. So we've got a real shot at getting some wins here. However, Buwani is going to be there, and that is going to ruin my chances because he's much, much better than any of my sprinters. You can see just how far it drops off. My top sprinter is a 67 in anything, 66 overall. So you can see just how far below these top 10 favorites that we are going to be. So it's going to be relatively difficult to get anything out of these races. And let's see, do we have a goal that we have to meet for this one? The really sad thing was the last one, we got the stage win that we needed. And there was a boost initially, and then the next day it dropped right back down on the sponsor confidence. So we didn't actually gain a boost at all for completing our objective last time. We went exactly to where we were, and this confidence really isn't going to change without any better registered riders or an improved squad this season. So it looks like we're pretty well locked down for this level. The results could go to perfect. The edge is about right here if we kind of hit every objective the rest of the way, but nope, nothing going on for this one. Ooh, there's only going to be 2 stages to try to get a stage win that time, and that's a week from now. Alright, well, let's get to it. I've got a decent team for this one here that I've brought, so it's a pretty good group, but in terms of the overall anyway. So there's a chance. No, there's not a chance. We're not beating Nasser Buwani. We're not beating Nicolet Ede. Yeah, Cofidis is way too strong. They got 4 guys in the top 10 favorites. So expect Buwani to win probably 4 out of 5 stages on this one. I mean, the IAM cycling is here. Fortuneo Samsic has 3 guys, so Luc Perrichon, Pierre Perrichon should do pretty well himself as well in this one. 70-70 is all he is, though. Carbell is actually a little better as a sprinter, but with 3 strong sprinters plus Cofidis having 4 really strong sprinters, look for it to be a 2-team battle. But Buwani is just, he's too good. All I can actually really hope for is that those teams are going to be so dominant that they're actually going to use up those really strong riders to get to the top, and they'll be pushing for first, second between those two teams. Vital Concept will be up there too, I would expect. But maybe that means I could crack the top 5 if they don't hog all the placings for themselves, right? Leave me something.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's going to
The
be
right
a
lead out.
monotonous day when it
Get
comes
5
to
chances
the
to get
terrain.
it right.
But at least the teams with sprinters won't be complaining. And, of course, Those opportunists with a bit of daring won't make their life easy.
Alright, so I've got Harris here. Harris is decent on the sprint. Garrison, decent on the sprint and looking pretty good today. Wachtendorf not having his best day.
He's launching an attack. There's not much hope in it succeeding, but at least his family gets to see him on TV.
I've got Wraith here as well. Wraith is looking okay today. I've got Warren. So I've got a really, really good sprint team for this. And Gibbons as well, and Gibbons is looking good. So really, I've only got a couple of riders like Rim. That's not a strong sprinter. I mean, Warren's at the bottom of the heap. So I got Wraith, Harris, or Wachtendorf. Wachtendorf struggling today, -3. So is Wraith a -2. So I might protect Harris instead. No. Wachtendorf is really struggling today. Wraith's not as bad. So we'll let Wachtendorf be and we'll protect Wraith. Alright, so breakaway group 10 riders away, but we don't seem to be allowing them to continue. As there we've caught them, just 3 riders left of the original 10.
The peloton has significantly increased its speed. Breakaway!
3 riders, but they're only 12 seconds out front. Now, here's a thing. It's still 30k. I was going to say, with 30k, we could try to go for the sprint point. But it's 30k. If it was 10, I'd say let's push the tempo, push the pace, and maybe... Now it's only 23. So keeping an eye. We might compete for the sprint point. Try to pick up a few seconds, right? Try to get a rider into the top 10 overall. Top 5 overall. Especially if Buani kind of wins every stage. He's going to take most of the time bonuses. 17k. 2 riders, 20 seconds. They're being allowed to pull away a little bit here, though. Oh, the crowd's all over the place.
A rider is down, and he's not going to be able to carry on. Let's hope it doesn't jeopardize the rest of his season.
They crash. Small group. Oh, but now 5 riders are a minute and a half away. They're pulling away here just as it was looking like we might have a shot at going for this. There's a little bit of steep, it's not steep, but bit of a rise, fall, undulating nature here of this track. It's not as flat as it seemed. Okay, under 70k to go. Wachtendorf's going to go back and get the water. And he's coming back up. 60k to go. Right as everybody gets their water, so good timing on that. Breakaway group is being reeled back in, just over a minute ahead now. And some of the riders are starting to fall off. No, these are the guys that were in the crash.
A ball has just happened in the peloton. Several riders are on the ground.
43k to the end. Gotta keep an eye on that. We need to get formed up. We're gonna really push it today with the full team and a fairly flat run in. So we'll get set by about 20k to go. 44 riders, 47 riders. The group is actually splitting. There's been a number of falls And that could be, and we've caught them now.
Just 20 kilometers from the finish, so things should come down to a mass sprint for the line.
Okay, and we are over the top of that little climb. You know what? I'm going to wait till we get right over top of the next one. Or do I want to form? Yeah, I'll form up now. Right there. Alright, now I do have quite a few guys that are pretty tired. Wachtendorf, see, I worry about Wachtendorf. Rim, Warren, pretty far gone. Harris is pretty far gone. Garrison, probably our strongest today. Yes. So we're going to follow Wraith. And then we'll follow Gibbons. Then we'll follow Wachtendorf. And then Harris. This is coming mostly down to who's the freshest. And we'll go top. And we'll use his gel now. Rim's already near the back, so let's start pushing forward immediately here, Rim. Small group, just 49 riders. This is good for splitting times up. Okay, here's this little uphill.
That looks like a really bad fall. It's a shame, but he's not going any further. That's a group nosedive. But as often happens, they're all
taking us
back
towards
in
the top of this
A
one.
rider has just fallen. The finish
Okay,
line is
now
getting
it's
close.
Warren's
The
turn.
riders have just
Rim,
passed
you're
the 50
done.
kilometers road sign.
Just 24 riders we split. Nope, 36. Split for a moment. There's 13K to go here.
He's given up.
Each rider I go a little bit harder, just 12K. And actually I'm shrinking a little too fast here, so slow. Wachtendorf, your turn.
The finish line is getting close. The riders just passed the 10 kilometers road sign.
9K, and I'm already getting pushed here aside by there's Carble, but Carble's only already second wheel, so that's a good sign for me. 3 riders. I don't want to get knocked back too far here, but I've also got to be up near the front, and I've also got to have enough guys to get to the finish, right? Okay, next to last little climb, we've got that last little hill. Take it up and over.
5 kilometers remaining.
Rim's dropped from the group. There's only 21 riders left up here now. Okay, Wraith, use your gel now. Now we're pushing. Gibbons, yes, yes, yes. Use your gel. And Wraith. Come over the top, come over the top. Gibbons still kind of giving you a little bit of a lead out. That's good. And, ooh, here we go. Sprint. And then we're going to be on Garrison for another few meters. And then attack over the top. Come on, Garrison. Oh, Wraith is outrunning you. Just until the end, Garrison finally gets out from under him. Of course, Nasser Brouani gets the win. But I do manage to squeeze out a top 5. So Garrison comes over the top just at the end. A little late on his part. He should have come over a bit sooner. But Wraith is a good sprinter himself. Probably a better one than Garrison. Just wasn't his day. So Wraith takes 6th. So 2 riders in the top 10. And could be a split. Let's see if there's what kind of splits we end up with. Lots of small groups coming across. I mean, we're already 12 minutes in, so there's no way that these guys are coming in on the same time.
We've selected the following highlights for you.
It was right there, right in contention. But these guys are just stronger. I mean, look at Buani just pull away from everyone. He was nowhere near the front, but he easily won it. Passed everybody at the end, so that was not a good sprint for Buani, and he still won. And still won comfortably. Okay, time. There's the split. 20 riders. Minute and a half back. So I've got myself, 3 riders in the top 20. So Gibbons, Garrison, and Wraith are who I need to protect going forward. So Gibbons, Garrison, and Wraith. Alright, so Gibbons, Garrison, and Wraith are going to be the protected riders here on stage number 2. You can see from the profile, it's undulating a lot more than the last stage, but I should still be able to get most of the riders to the end of the stage together. We might lose a couple, but I think most of the team will be fine. But I'm going to jump towards the end of the stage on this one. So we're going to go ahead and make a cut here and move on forward on the timeline. Alright, so we're back. We've got our second of 2 categorized climbs happening right now. It's not that intense, but the pace is picked up a fair amount here. And so go ahead and tune in here. And we are just under 2K to the top here. And we are also right at that mark where we're about 60K to go. Even though we've got about half a bottle right now, we're not going to make it to the end of the race on the water we have. So I'm about to send Wachtendorf back. And I'll do it now. He's under a K to go. Hopefully we time this right. Gets his water just over the top, yes, and makes his way back up through the field without the extra effort because it's downhill. And gets water to everyone before we do that final considerable climb of the day. We got that little bit of uphill down the stretch. And I've got the full team looking pretty strong right now, so we're in good shape for this one. And with just over 40K to go now, we'll speed things up until we get down to that final 20K or so, or 23K, and then we'll set the team up, especially with everyone fresh. I'm going to need to really push it. Peloton has shrunk to 87 riders as people start to bleed out the back of the Peloton. 20 riders so far. And let's set things up here. So get everyone to a 99. It's really important that you preset to 99 if you're going to do a sprint train. Otherwise, you make life so much more difficult for yourself. Wraith, 67's Garrison. Okay, so Wraith is going to go first this time. And then we've got, what, Gibbons? Or is Gibbons going to go? Ooh. We're going to put Gibbons actually here on the back. So you relax. And you're going to follow Wraith. There we go. Wachtendorf. Harris. Warren's okay for sprinting, but he's looking bad today, so we'll use up Warren first, his -4 race day condition. We'll go at 93. Not too hard to start leaving a bunch of people behind, but enough to start opening things up, and we are in order already. That's beautiful. As we go under 20K to go, there's still a breakaway group that we're trying to catch the last of. Peloton's still quite large, but there are some riders out the back. We're in attack mode here on this hill. Get Rim ready to go. Alright, so Warren didn't last long, but he got his job done and got us over, most of the way over final climb. It's going to be fairly level from here on out, besides this little bit of downhill.
Riders have just passed the 15 kilometers road sign.
Okay, we're going to go on 96 now, as
Wow, that's one attack that's going to leave
energy's not falling away very fast. Rim's still hanging on, and now we start to pull out front. There's the last two riders, nearly caught. Rim, great job there from him.
The escapees have surrendered. The pack gave them no chance.
10K,
They really are moving.
and we
The
are
pack
leading
can't
the
get
way
started
now.
too far, or it's
Wachtendorf
going to start
next.
breaking up. The finish line is getting close. The riders just passed the 10 kilometers road sign. The riders are closing on the last 8
There's
kilometers
job
of the
done.
stage, which will most likely end
Wachtendorf
up
not
on the
lasting
sprint.
long with that -2. He's not terribly fit for this race here. 7K to go. Still leading the way. Give me a little bit of an edge here. Alright, 6K. Stay at 97.
Only 5 kilometers left.
Yeah, here come the real contenders towards the front. Okay, Wraith into the sprint for the final 3. Oh, no, that's too fast, too fast. Too fast, you're falling off there, Wraith.
It's going to be very fast.
There goes Gibbons, 1.5K to go. That's probably too far. He's out front for now, but is he going to have anything left? There's Buati just flying by. And Gibbons is done. He's out of energy. And that really came down to Wraith. Wraith did not last long enough. Wraith, his energy dropped off way too fast, forcing Gibbons to go a little bit earlier. And I come just outside of the top 10. Just missed the top 10 for this one. But Buani just crushing the field that time. He had so much more speed than we did. Gibbons looked real strong there for just a little bit. He went about 100 meters too early. Got over the top. I knew he wasn't going to hang on to win, but I thought he might hang on long enough to stay a little higher at the field. But just 11th on this stage.
And here are the key moments of the race.
Yeah, see how far back Buani is as he's just going to fly by. He didn't punch anybody on the way by. That's a good thing. Alright, so Garrison, Gibbons, still right there. Not sure what's going on. Guineats. Something's off about that. But Wraith, ninth. And it's down to 18 riders from that original lead group. On to stage number 3. Same thing. I'm going to protect those same 3 riders. I can see here's the makeup for stage 3. And this one's going to do some more damage. Probably the most damage of any of the stages. Short, but very, very punchy climbs. And quite a few of them. And back-to-back. So no recovery for these climbs. Buani's still the favorite. He's a terrible climber, though. I'm really surprised they even have him as a Hills 70. He's about one of the worst climbers among the top sprinters in the world. It's almost always the first one off the back. But we'll go ahead and skip forward to about the midpoint in the stage where we start hitting all these climbs. So I'll see you back there in just a moment. Alright, a bit later in the stage than what I expected, but the pace just wasn't that hot through the middle sector of this stage. See, it did do some wear and tear to my riders and plenty of riders in the field, but it only actually dropped one rider over those series of climbs, and that poor rider is going to end up being a withdrawal as they are now 7 minutes behind. But as for everybody else, we are all still together. We are closing down a small breakaway group of 5 riders. just over 2 minutes ahead right now, and we are on the ascent right now. Not that it's steep at this point, but the true climbs, the punchy ones, the first two are the steepest, and then it gets more gradual over the final two. Once we get up over this small hill, that's where things will really begin. Alright, so I need to turn up the intensity a little bit so we don't suddenly get dropped. Gibbons is the furthest back of all my riders right now. This is just a little false flat. Get over the top of this, head downhill, slow it back down. There's, oh, a crash, and Harris is involved in it. Woohoo! Big crash. They're done. These guys are not coming back. I'm gonna set Harris to automatic.
There's an attack in the leading group. Some riders were not giving it their all and sharing the pace.
So what's left? Wachtendorf and Wraith. Let's get Wachtendorf to shield Wraith. There we go. These guys aren't that far back, but this uphill, those gaps are a lot bigger than it appears because of the pace. But here we go, coming up and over the top of the first of them, and the steepest, but this next one stays steep for longer. So these first two climbs are definitely the hardest. 55 riders left in the peloton, and there very well could be some riders in that back group that are in that top 18 and got caught out.
Another attack in the leading group. The gap is widening. It's now over 2 minutes. A couple of teams have set themselves up.
I have to get somebody to grab water over the top as well. Not this climb, but maybe over the top of the last climb, probably. I think we can hang on that long. That short climb. Oh, it's looking like we might have a split here soon. Oh, there's Harris. They actually just about made contact, but it looks like Gibbons and Warren, this area is splitting. Warren's about to crack. Rim's already cracked. Wachtendorf has already cracked. Okay, we'll stay with Gibbons for now. Gibbons caught up in between here. Oh, Wraith got caught out too. Okay, now of these two, who's having the better day? Okay, Wraith is going to shield Gibbons. Gibbons is feeling good today. Where's Warren? Oh, Warren's right there. Okay, so Warren is going to shield Gibbons, and then we'll have Wraith shield Garrison if and when they get back up there before this final climb. These guys are giving chase. Not sure what team that is, but the British team is going to make contact for us, and they do. Oh, there goes Warren. Warren's done. I've got... Oh, Wraith, don't kill yourself. Thank you. Gibbons, Garrison, and Wraith, which were my three protected riders. It's the final categorized climb, but we're not done climbing yet. There's going to be that one more. Oh, contact again, but it's splitting. They're just kind of spread out all over. Wraith. Back up there. Alright. Now, Gibbons. Garrison's the fresh one. So, Wraith, you're gonna go grab water here. And these guys set to auto. Wachtendorf set to auto. There you go. And back to the front group. Gibbons, Garrison there. Wraith getting water now just before the top. Don't push it too hard yet. There you go, right in the middle of the crowd. That's good. Here we go, over the top. Final climb, 30K to go. 30 riders left in this front group. 53. Not 30. 3 of my riders left in this group. 53 left overall in the peloton. And Wraith making his way back up with the water for Gibbons and Garrison. And there we go. Okay, so Wraith just barely hanging on.
The pack is increasing its work rate. Some teams can't be happy with the breakaway. A rider is taking his chance alone.
Okay, they got themselves water finally. Wraith, Gibbons barely hanging on here. That's a bad sign, but I've at least done enough to be in contention. Peloton's gone, so we've been caught, and Wraith keeps making his way up and then recovering. Gibbons as well. They're both really struggling. But the pace doesn't seem to be that hot. Now Wraith has been dropped. Or not. The group's splitting and then coming back together, and splitting and coming back together. There's a slight gap here. And now the gap is opening up a little. No, it was opening. And somebody else was catching up. Harris. Oh no, Harris has been lapped. Harris has been lapped. Okay. That's no fun. 7K left to go. Gibbons and Wraith. Gibbons, all he's got left at this point is the ability to shield Garrison a little bit from the wind, but he's got no pull left at all, so Garrison's going to be on his own. But I bet you anything, the best place to put him is going to be right behind Nasser Bouhanni, but can he keep up with the acceleration of Bouhanni? Because if you could follow Bouhanni and never even overtake him, you could potentially finish in second, right? Theoretically. Okay. Gibbons.
And they're off. It's going to be very fast.
Already taken off. No. Sprint. No. Bouhanni didn't have it today. Told you, Bouhanni can't climb. He still ends up getting third, but Garrison didn't go with him at all when he took off. And look at that, Garrison's fresh here at the finish line. Oh, what a shame. He gets 20th at least, but that fell apart at the end. Highly disappointing on that one. But Garrison, Gibbons in the group. Wraith was next in 47th. Looks like they might have put him behind the group. So we'll see if our, 18 riders, if that group has shrunk at all. Okay, one rider who got caught out. There we go. That was the rider who got caught out in the first section of climbs, all alone. Real life, they would have been picked up by the broom wagon much sooner. Okay, there's Garrison, 20th. 47 riders. Wraith does get the same time. And we are now down to 14 riders. So yes, there are more riders that got caught out. I don't understand what's going on with Gideots and this time. Why he's there, I don't understand. It's some sort of glitch. But Garrison in 7th. And then we've got Gibbons and Wraith just outside of the top 10. So that, in that sense, we're looking good. Buani, only 12 seconds ahead, amazingly. But I said 4 out of 5 stages. That's probably the only one he was going to lose. And that just came down to the climbs. He made it over, but didn't have enough left to really sprint it out. He still ended up taking 3rd on the stage, though. So Wraith hits his fitness peak, even though he's only at 92%. Rim and Garrison are both getting really close to 100%. Yeah, this is more of a typical sprint stage. Long one, though. Almost 200K. Alright. We'll pick it up somewhere right around this final sprint point with that little bit of an uphill, and we'll probably be in the train or form the train up right around that point. So I'll see you late stage. Alright, 35K left to go in this one. And even though it's early, I'm going to go ahead and form up now. I was actually starting to get really worried that we weren't going to catch the breakaway group. But we're actually catching them quite quickly now. As the 2.5 minute lead just 5 to 10K ago has already dropped to 1.5 minutes. Alright, Wraith is on a +2 today as he's hit his form. So we'll put him in the back of the group behind Gibbons, behind Garrison, who will go behind Wachtendorf.
There's a sustained rhythm
Harris.
Some riders definitely won't be able to keep up.
Behind Rim and Warren. We'll go to the front. Now it's down to 27K. And Warren's going to start to accelerate. And there we go. Team's in order. Let's see, how much of an uphill are we dealing with here? Just slow, steady climb until we get to that downhill section. It's going to wear Warren out a bit faster, but he's only at a 92, so we're not that bad off here at the moment. But that does get us out front now.
With less than 20 kilometers, the lead is still over a minute. It's going to be hard work to maintain the breakaway.
Okay, we've been caught, but Warren does get us nearly to the top by himself. That's good. Leaves me 6 riders now. Under 20K to go. And we've cut the breakaway lead in half. And these guys are also giving it whatever they've got to try to get to the finish. Approaching the top. Yeah, see, pace isn't that bad. Warren's actually recovered a bit. Might be able to get Warren back up in here for another run. Okay, we are over the top. I can go a bit harder now. 14K.
The breakaway is not to everybody's liking. The peloton has significantly increased its speed.
Alright. 11K. I don't like my position necessarily right now, as we've definitely not shaken things up at all. But I'm down to 4 riders for 9K, and there's a little break right now. Get back in there. This is why I don't want them that far back.
the breakaway. The pack gave them no chance.
Garrison, time to get ready. It's almost time. Wachtendorf finally gets us out of the crowd with 6K to go. 5K to go. Garrison, gonna go 98 now. There we go. Garrison, good lead out here. Getting us some room. 3K. Let's get back on Gibbons with his 99. One and a half. Sprint, sprint, sprint. Pull him, pull him, pull him. And go, Wraith. Go, Wraith. Come on, come on. Yes, over the top. He's up there. He's right beside Buoni. He's right beside Buoni. Karstensen gets the win today. And Wraith right beside him, still only 5th place. But that was a good sprint for a bad team. Considering the strength of the field, that was a solid result. Alright, we got one stage left to go here. Not much action to happen with that, and I'm actually out of time here. So I will do the final stage off camera. It's another sprint stage. We're not beating Buoni. I mean, I timed that absolutely perfectly. That was a brilliant sprint for what I'm capable of. Gibbons, just a wonderful lead out there, and he crosses the line in 17th. And Wraith with all the assistance in the world, and he made an absolute masterpiece of that for what he's capable of. We timed that perfectly, and he still just squeezed into 5th place. So no fireworks coming on stage number 5. It is what it is. But that's going to do it for this episode of Decathlon Gamer. And remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my road to the record. Bye for now.